Revelation 7 and Proverbs chapter 15. Revelation chapter 7 in verses 9 through 17 has this beautiful picture of these millions and millions of people who were martyrs, who died for Christ, standing before the throne and worshiping, and the Lamb is at the center of the throne as their shepherd, and he wipes away the tears from their eyes. And it says in verse 9, a great multitude that no one could count. And there's one thing I really want to zero in here, and it says in verse 14, when he says, who are these? And he said, I answered, sir, you know. And he said, these are those who have come out of the great tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. The article "the" is not there in the Greek. And literally in the Greek, it says, these are those who have come out of great tribulation. The reason I say that is because a lot of people assume that this means that these are all the people who were martyred in the end times tribulation. But it doesn't really say that biblically. There was an article in June 2014 in Christianity Today by a researcher, David Barrett, who works for Voices of the Martyrs, that his estimate that since the time of Jesus to today, there's been over 70 million Christians who've been martyred for their faith. 70 million. That's bigger than most countries on the earth. 70 million Christians. So it's a possibility that this passage is about all of those martyrs who are given special honor in heaven. It might not just be end times martyrs, but all the martyrs, which that would make sense to me. Just a thought to consider. Proverbs chapter 15 in verse 11 says, death and destruction lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men? I want you to remember that Solomon wrote this, and this was long before the time of Jesus. And the reason he hit death and destruction, because death and destruction, especially before the time of Jesus, were the most confusing of all subjects. Who can understand death? Who can understand destruction? And so he's explaining that if death and destruction are the hardest subjects to understand, how much cloudier, how much harder is it to understand our own hearts? And so one of the greatest points of humility of Solomon, and for us, is to say, understanding our own heart is not easy to do. Lord, help me to understand my heart. Most of all, help me to understand your heart. I hope you're having a great day today. I thank you that although most of us were not called to be martyrs, we are all part of this beautiful body of Christ that's existed for thousands of years, and one day we're all going to celebrate together in heaven. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.